Hello and welcome to the third Tuesday of the month, June 21st, 2022, where we're going to talk about the state of the market, state of the union, state of real estate, state of Boise, state of Bryan, and all things that are good. We're going to talk about Boise, we're going to talk about real estate, we're going to talk about interest rates, some strategies, what we're seeing in the market, and of course, the dry, down and dirty stats. Welcome. It's good to see everyone here. When you get here, let me know if you are live, and also let me know if where you're coming from. It's always fun to see where people are coming from. Last month's show was probably the best that we had. Ton of interaction, ton of questions from people just like you, and I want to make sure that is what we're delivering is the information and data that you need for your decisions. So we are going to talk about all things that is Boise real estate. But first, who am I? I am the side sitting. My legs propped up over here. For those who are taking interest, my leg received a little bit of a number the other day. And LA County, welcome. I saw you made a comment, I think this morning on one of my videos. I appreciate that. I took a spill on the basketball court, and knee is healing to say the least. A long road to recovery coming, but that's why I'm side saddling so I can rest that on there. So thinking, why am I so casual today? Well, it's casual third Tuesday of the month for this YouTube live. It almost didn't happen, to be frank. So welcome. Thanks for saying where you're from. Anyone else who gets on, let us know where you're coming from. Northern California, living in Northern Virginia, DMV area. That must be DC Metro. What is DMV besides Department of Motor Vehicles? Interest rates. We're going to talk about interest rates affecting the market as well. Huge topic. Huge thing. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what we see. What would I do? Would love to know what you guys would do in this situation, because obviously interest rates are affecting the market. I think honestly, one thing that's, before we get into all this stuff here, one thing that's really affecting the market is the way we perceive the market. It's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. If all the news outlets say that there's a big bad 2-8 grumpy SoCal. We're out in SoCal. And are you a Bruin or are you a Trojan? Very important question, as you can see. Or should I point right here? Right there. Very important question. Yeah, DC Metro, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Oh, cool. One thing we're seeing, well, let's back up on who I am. What makes me even qualified to talk about any of this stuff besides just being a real estate agent? I mean, a lot of us can take the test, get a realtor's license, but I've been doing this for 5 years. Before that, I was an appraiser for about 2.5 years as a trainee, if you want to get technical on things. In the 2009 era, when the appraisal world received it changed. You couldn't, the way it was done was changed because we were in a crash. And I got out of that and got a sales job. Sales job led to real estate. Real estate's what I'm doing now. So I've been doing that for the last 5.5, 6 years, more like 5 years. And that was a good stretch, though. I almost got another year out of that. It's been 5 years and 1 month. So 5.5 is definitely a stretch. I round up, I guess. Flood areas in Ada County. Oh, good question. We can talk about that. I love these. Keep these topics coming because I can talk about all these. But did that appraising thing, did real estate. I'm born and raised in Boise. I was basically at the Eagle and the Freeway area of where I grew up. And then I've come back and now I live in Eagle. I've been living in Eagle for the last 7 years and love it. Absolutely love it. One of my videos I just recently did was about the 7 worst areas in Idaho. One of them was Nampa. One of them was Caldwell. Just so you know, I've done a little house shopping myself lately. The last offer I wrote was in Nampa. The last home I looked at was in Caldwell. So I hope you guys know that every area is great. There are parts of certain places I will never live. Personal opinions. You'd have to make the choice for yourself what you like and don't like. There's most of it's just personal opinion. Now, if you look at crime rates or you look at different things, Rocky Mountain School, I mean, if you're looking at school districts, Rocky Mountain Schools, West Ada Schools receive all the love online in terms of, the ratings and things. Like Middleton High School, because we were looking out there, I saw one of their school ratings was the high school was 0 out of 10. Like, give me a break. As if the school's terrible. No, plenty. My brother and his kids, he went out there. I coached out there, coached basketball out there is my thing. And you couldn't tell me that school is a terrible school. I bet that people would fall over themselves from many parts of the country just to get into a school like Middleton. And I'm not joking. I'm not just trying to butter them up. I truly feel that way. And later tonight, I'm filming on Middleton, so maybe that's why I'm just trying to get you primed for the good video coming. Let's see. Cool. CC, I see that question as well. We've got a lot of questions coming in. These are gonna be all touched on. Just clean up my eyes. Haven't had to go out in public because of this knee right here. So I'm just kind of getting used to this public thing again, I guess. Let's see here, guys. Let's talk about some of these questions. So, and also love to hear where you're coming from. Give me the city if you've got it. Love to hear that. It totally is just fun to see how many people are attracted to Idaho. And that can be that means for you to learn about Idaho or to make you move to Idaho, whatever it is. So you can see my number flashing across the bottom of the screen and my email as well. If you have any questions or texts or emails, any calls, anything, give me a call, text, email. That's really one of my biggest reasons I'm doing this. Obviously, it's one to help, and two, I love the way to help and get rewarded is by helping you guys get a home. So luckily I got paid for that. All right, so first question, how are the interest rates affecting the market? Well, we've seen it is really, really interesting because you could say the interest rates have slowed the market. There's a stat I track, and it's called absorption rate. And I have 2 listings right now that are haven't sold. Both are just a little bit time more than we'd want to see on the market. But we track the absorption rate, and from the time we listed them to now, we've gone from, prior to listing them to now, we've gone from about a half. The number is 0.5 to 2.5. And what that number means is how many months of inventory or homes do we have to sell that if statistically speaking, we kept buying at the same rate and no new homes were put on the market, how long would it be until those homes were bought up? Of course, not every home is going to receive the same treatment, but if that was the case, and so it's 5x, half to 2.5 on both of those properties, which are in different cities and different zip codes. Same city, different zip code. One's in South Meridian, one's in North Meridian. No, that's actually false. One's in Eagle, one's in South Meridian. And it just goes to show that there's so much more inventory on the market, so many more homes that are on the market. How do the interest rates play in that? Well, we've actually, and we'll dive into some of these, we'll dive into all of these as we go. For example, all of Ada County, and Gina, I'm going to go through the stats on Ada County. Gina is the one who is my assistant. She is awesome. You can guys give her a shout. She's amazing. Gina can go through Ada County and all the stats. So when we look at all the active homes in Ada County in May, that was last month. Last month it was 256, and you saw that graphic that just popped up on your screen. We currently have 1,462. So that is almost a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost a 6x increase, almost. 5.7 or so. I'm guessing about 5.7 increase of how many homes are on the market. When we have pending homes, we've gone from 221 last month to basically triple that to 608 this month. So we've had actually 3 times as many people get under contract, but yet we have 6x the amount of homes on the market. So interest rates have actually doubled or tripled the amount of home buyers out there. We just have seen more homes come on the market. Can I get a thumbs up or a smiley or something if that makes sense? We've 6x'd the active homes. We've 3x'd the amount of homes that have gone to contract. In other words, we've put more supply in the market. The interest rate has not affected those who are buying because we've seen more people. Well, it probably has, but to an effect that it has not affected the market. So it's decreased the number of buyers. We've actually 3x'd the number of homes that have gone into contract, just that there's more inventory. Number of homes sold when we took a snapshot in last month was 972, and as you can see on your screen, this month it's 826. So that accounts for about 150 of those that are pending still, but not the full kit caboodle. Do I have an updated version? Interesting, because it's pretty updated. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so how are the interest rates affecting the market, Stargazer? I would say they are affecting the market. I just talked to the lender yesterday, Braden's people yesterday. Sorry, 1 second. Got it. And we talked about the number of applications that are coming in. And it really is affecting the number of applications, but it's not affecting the serious buyers. So interest rates have an effect, yes. But remember, there's two things you need to decide on when you buy your home. You don't need to look at is the home going to be worth more or less tomorrow. People like to say this is your biggest investment. It's not. It's one of your biggest assets. And you could even debate actually that. You totally can debate that. It's Robert Kiyosaki would say it's not an asset. Why? Because it's not producing income for you. It's still a liability in that regard. So you have this huge thing. You got to decide two things. Do you like the home? Do you like the payment? That's all you have to decide. Why? Because if you like the payment and then we're in a recession, but you still like the payment, it doesn't matter. If you buy the home worth $2 billion, but you get a loan that is a 200 million year loan and only pay $5 a month on it, you don't care because you're paying $5 a month on a home. You would not care about the price of that home. Are you upside down? Do you have equity? You would not care. You care about your payment if you can never find that loan again, right? And the second thing is, do you like your home? Are you going to live there forever? Are you going to be there a while? Those are things that matter, because if you don't like your home and you have to move and you're upside down in your house, you like your payment, but you hate your home, you have a problem, right? Your kitchen's too small, only has 4 cupboards, but yet you have 6 kids. There's a problem. First world problem, but you have a problem. And so those two things are the only two things you really have to ask yourself. Are we seeing some prices go down? Yes, we're totally seeing prices go down. Right now, compared to about 7 months ago, the number of homes that are decreasing in their price, that are having a price decrease, is actually relatively similar. Go back to March 1st, and we've actually done about a 4x on the number of homes that have decreased their home price. So we're just seeing a little bit of different market activity. Homes that are decreasing in price all the time, from my wife included, that, well, how come everything I see is price decrease? Because that's what you're looking at on Zillow, or that's what you're looking at on your website or my website or whoever's website, because that's what they show. They show things that have activity, new homes on the market, and then price decreases. The homes that aren't new don't get shown unless there's a price decrease. So you keep seeing those. That's why everything looks like there's a price decrease, right? Okay. Okay. Number 2 question. Hate it here. LOL. Yes. Not a question. I just decided to make funny out of that. I actually would love. I think it'd be such a blast to go over to BC for a couple weeks and just get through some dry history. I would absolutely love that. I think it'd be a dream come true. I've heard there's quite a few Smithsonians. I've heard the Bible Smithsonians. The Bible exhibit's awesome over there. I've done the Holocaust when I was 8 years old. There's quite a few things I would love to go through and just experience history over. That's awesome. Flood areas in Ada County. Well, if you look, there's 2 things. You can go to FHA.gov, and you can, just type in FHA, just type in FEMA flood maps FHA, FEMA flood maps FHA in Google, and you'll see the flood map. We had some serious flooding after snow apocalypse in 2016, and even homes that are right next to the river don't flood if they're built up enough. We don't see a whole lot of flooding that really affects homes. If we have crawl spaces here, so there's might be some water in crawls. You get a sump pump, get that out. Water isn't the end of the world if you can ventilate that water and get the water out. So flooding is not a huge deal in Idaho, almost zero deal, especially if you're up on the bench. But if you're going to worry about it, it's going to be along the river basin, Boise River, if you can follow that out. So let's see here. Looking at the Rocky Mountain School District, we talked about that. I'm curious about the next generation of homes with in-law suites. I know Lennar does them, but didn't see them on the website for the Boise area. Yeah, Lennar's a new home builder. They're barely in the Boise market. The in-law quarters are something we don't have a ton of. Like when I go down to Vegas, I know Shea Homes does them. We're getting some Shea Homes up here in the Trilogy subdivision. If you go talk to them, they won't let me be your realtor unless you include me in the beginning as an FYI, or whoever your realtor is. Do us a favor and include you in the beginning. It'll help you actually as well, because then you'll have representation. So when something goes wrong, you'll have someone that can fight for you. I definitely do new builds, resales, first sale by owners, all that stuff, right? I'm not sure there are other builders that do it. Yeah, I wouldn't say there's a high prevalence, if you will, high occurrence of homes with in-law quarters. There's simply not. But it's kind of a home by home basis, unfortunately. Pros and cons of Horseshoe Bend. I'd have to know what you're looking for, or what you value. You have to go over the hill to get to Boise. So if there's snow, you're going over that pass. You're isolated. It's a very, very small town. You'd be 30 minutes from anything in terms of stores, things like that. Horseshoe Bend, because you have to go over that hill, seems like a big drive. To some of you out-of-staters, it might be a small drive, negligible drive. Deanne, thanks for coming from Southeast Florida. Is that like Miami? I'm interested why you want. So Florida is one that, we'll see people. I'll see one out of every 30, 40 people who will say they're considering Florida and Idaho at the same time. Usually, I'm not seeing that, but sometimes I am. So why are you from Florida trying to explore Idaho? I'm very curious. Interest rates won't affect cash buying baby boomers. Well, it will, in terms of they can now afford more, because the prices, if they come down, they can actually snatch them up. So, CC, can you do an updated version of the state comparisons of Idaho versus Texas, etc.? Okay, so those are actually fairly new. So you guys seem to be stuck between Idaho and Texas. I'm trying to sway him to Idaho for weather. LOL. Yeah. So can you tell me, CC, where are you thinking about going in Dallas? Because the weather in the summer is blazing hot in Dallas, and it's humid in Houston. It's hot in a lot of areas. Texas is a great place. Can't say I hate Texas at all. I love Texas. It's a great place. Natural disasters, bugs, and weather are probably our biggest things we have in Idaho, and a little bit smaller town feel. If you want the big city, and you want to have all the big box stores and all the traffic and everything else, that's Dallas, that's Houston, that's San Antonio, that's Austin. If you are looking for most of the big box stores and you won't have a problem finding most of them here, and you want a little bit smaller town feel, still a conservative state, this is a great bet. No natural disasters, no bugs, all that type of stuff. History is good, but traffic and weather and crime definitely sucks. Yeah, I've heard some things about the crime over there. Weather, humid and muggy. I don't mind the humid and muggy. I think everyone has their own tolerance level there, though. Drier climate primarily, like-minded, self-sufficiency. Sun is in Montana, not Miami. 2 hours north. I see. Yeah. Well, good. Let's talk about. Keep the questions coming. I'm going to dive into some of these stats. Let's focus on Eagle real quick. Eagle's where I live. This is where we're filming from, is Eagle. So I want to go into Eagle stats for the active homes pending and sold. So currently on the market in Eagle, for single-family homes, there are 160 homes that are available, compared to 56 last month when we took that. So triple the inventory. Close enough, right? Can I say triple? Number of pendings went from 24 to 53, basically double. And the number of solds has basically stayed the same from 96 to 94. So same number of solds. We've had twice the amount of pendings, but yet we have now almost a 2.5 on the 2.5 on the number of actives that are on the market. So we've had a lot more inventory hit the market. That is, when I go to Meridian, we're going to have almost a 4.5x on the active homes on the market, basically a 3x on the pending, and a decrease in the number of solds. Okay, so we can run that. So Meridian active is 396 now. It was 84 a month ago. Active meaning their homes on the market being sold. Pending, it is 173 and it was 59. Sold homes, it is 262 and it was 312. Median days on market for Ada County, for Eagle, for Boise, unless this is wrong, this is all the same stat. It's currently 5 days for Eagle, Meridian, Ada County, and Boise, and it was 4. So we're having things stick on the market, 20%, 25% increase. All right. Eagle's sold price, the median sold price went down 15,000 from 942 to 927. The lowest price home in Eagle sold for 500, 499, and it was 546. The highest price home that sold was 3.4 a month ago, and now it's 2.45. Okay. Let's see, lowest price in Meridian went from 385 down to 335. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Who's there? NorCal. Where in NorCal? Love to hear it. So it went from 335 to 295 a square foot. So that's actually more money per square foot than the 385. Interesting on that stat. Interesting. So June did the same thing in Eagle. The lowest price was 546 and went down to 500, but the price per square foot went up. Very interesting. Star kept very, very steady at 344 square foot, but went from 440 is the lowest price sold to 272. That's interesting stuff right there. Interesting. All right. Any other stats? Any other stats you want to know about Eagle, Star, Meridian, or Ada County as a whole? Those are the ones I like to focus on. I have others as well. Middleton as well. Middleton. I mean, everything we're seeing. Number of homes on the market is way up. Pendings anywhere from a 2 to 3x. Solds relatively stay the same or decrease or go up. Makes sense? Makes sense? All right. Close to Stockton. Cool. Close to Stockton. Just had a client move here from that area. So, any other questions, guys? I'm going to go on to the interest rate where it's at right now. If you check one of the most up-to-date spots for interest rates for me that I check is ICCU. The lender I use as a whole, I use 2 lenders. And last month, Braden from Fulcrum was here. And their rates are usually 1/4 to 0.5% under what ICCU.com is. And that's where that 5.75 is coming from. If you go to ICCU.com, that's the credit union. And you can usually bet that Fulcrum's a little bit lower than that. And then let's see, and then so is Guaranteed Rate, Eric Lay at Guaranteed Rate. They're low as well, a little bit lower. And they both of them have some freedom and some good programs to use. VA loans, 203K loans to get creative, which are coming back. Anyway, there's quite a few. They both have their specialties. They both are great. Both give weekly updates. Both give you guys all calls and keep you updated the whole way the process. They're awesome, and they keep the other agents up to date too. All right. Looks like all the new homes in Meridian are 2-story and have hardwood flooring. I wouldn't go that far. Hardwood flooring is a rarity for new homes. LVP is kind of the standard for a lot of the homes. 2-story, definitely more. I mean, it's cheaper to build on top of a house than it is to get wider because that requires more acreage, right? So that's that. Let's see. Is there anyone here that's considering moving to Boise that's a first-time home buyer? Anyone that's a first-time home buyer? Or if you're not a first-time home buyer, the website that's scrolling at the bottom of your screen, brianhymas.com/buy, is made just for you, especially any of those who are buying a home, who want to know what the next process is in the step that we have of buying a home. There's videos there, and there's a little write-up on each video so you don't feel lost when we're in this process of buying a home. brianhymas.com/buy, B-U-Y. Tip of the day. Stargazer, if you're a first-time home buyer, there are definitely incentives for you. If you're a first-time home buyer, they like to help out in some of those down payments and things. So those are not always the case. Sometimes credit score, sometimes income, all that type of stuff can add up. But first-time home buyers, especially in this market, I feel for you because it's not what it was 3 or 4 years ago anywhere in the nation. Because inflation, I mean, it is a manifestation of inflation, right? There's ways to purchase money. One of them is how at the rate that's collected back. So that is part of that. And if it's not going to be collected back more, that means the person thinks they can afford more. And also we got people who, it means it dilutes the price of the house essentially when you look at it that way. So I want to talk about something, a tip we can do as home buyers to get the price down. So if you have a home that's sitting, instead of asking for $25,000 off on an offer, I would ask for a $6,000 concession from the seller on your interest rate, helping you buy down the interest rate, or whatever the money amount is, $5,000, $7,000. You could probably get down you might be able to get a whole point off, 1 percentage point off your interest rate you settle at by simply asking for that instead of a $25,000 reduction. That would reduce your monthly payment by more than asking for $25,000 off. So the seller's happy because they only had to decrease the sales price by $6,000, but you got to decrease your monthly payment by a lot more. Remember, it matters what house you like and your monthly payment. Doesn't matter about that sales price. Doesn't matter at all. 1 second. This guy is a doozer. For those who are carrying, 2 weeks ago today, took a spill in the basketball court, and this knee has given me a lot of time in the couch and in the recliner. This is my first time sitting in this chair in 2.5 weeks. Still not been down there. So smart idea. 6,000, rough idea, 6,000. No, it's 101 degrees in your city right now. My wife grew up in Redding. That sounds like Redding-esque weather. We were in Redding a couple years ago, and it was like 108 degrees when COVID was happening. We had to be outside, could not be inside with AC. It was terrible. Let's see. Any read those? Let me know if you have those questions. If you are considering moving to Boise or Idaho, please, I depend on you. I love it. I love providing this value. And then obviously everyone that moves here, everyone who's in this that I can see over here, it's on the live. Not everyone's going to use me to move here. I understand that. Some of you will not even end up moving here. I understand that. But those of you who need me to help you and want me to help you, it is certainly a dream come true. In fact, I texted one client who moved here a couple months ago who hasn't been able to move here yet. I texted him. I said, "Hey, Idaho needs you. Rule of law still holds its weight in gold over here. So we'd love to have you as soon as you get here." So if you do, it's 208-213-2092. My email at the bottom of the screen as well if you want to send a casual email. Just kind of get the ball started. And then if you want to kind of see my process, it's brianhymas.com/buy. Bless you here. Thank you. brianhymas.com/buy really sets the roadmap for you so that you know what to expect when buying a home. My process is a 1, 2, 3 easy buying process. It really is. We connect, we do a Zoom call, you come and look at homes to shop. And by the time you're done with that, I have all the guidance I need, and then we are in contact and we're getting you to become an Idahoan. It's really special. It's really fun. Looking is the fun part. All the loan docs and stuff, not so much fun, but luckily I don't have to do that. So all my stuff's just a fun part. Do I think it's a good time to buy a house right now? Well, I'll tell you, I went shopping. I was looking at a house last night for myself. You gotta, I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but you gotta consider 2 things when buying a house. If you like the house and the monthly payment, it's all you've got to consider. I could fight until the cows come home on that. I couldn't care less, because if you get a house if you get a house that's $400,000, but they require 2 payments, well, guess what? You're gonna default and lose the house, right? So it matters what the interest, it matters what that payment is. Cash flow in your bank account, being able to pay the mortgage is key. You have to have the cash flow. It would better freeze your contact information. Probably would. I'm not sure if we, oh, look at, she did that. She's amazing. Who's there? I used to work in the mortgage industry. Well, I'd love to hear what you have to say about that, because that is my opinion on all that is buying down the points and then also loving your payment. Let me know what you think. All right. See if there's anything else you want to do to wrap up. I do have a question for you guys, actually. Before I do wrap up, I'm thinking of what are your biggest questions when you guys come and when it comes to me? How could I help you guys most? Is it knowing how to navigate the new builders? Is it learning how to navigate the areas? When you guys watch my YouTube channel, what is it that you're watching the most for? I think I have my guess, but I'd love to know. I have a question from you. Thank you. How's the job market? Significant other is a software engineer. He would love to work from home. I heard Meta is coming to Treasure Valley, but not sure if locals like that idea. So Meta is coming, yes. And as far as I know, it's a data center that's not going to employ that many people. The job market overall is healthy. Yes, there are some stores, just like any other city, that can't find employees to work because now minimum wage is, above and beyond maybe what it should be. But overall, we have a healthy market. And a lot of it is actually driven by you. A lot of people don't like the fact that Boise is being overrun from out-of-staters, right? But the thing is, it keeps a healthy economy. It is a conservative America. Idaho is what people are still moving here for. So they can love it or hate it. But because of that, I don't have as negative as opinion as a lot of people do about the market, because people are still coming here just like you. Phone is still ringing. Emails are still coming through from people who want to move to conserve Idaho, USA. So job market, good and healthy. Meta, I don't think is a huge player in that. As far as I know, it's not going to be a huge employer, but I could be wrong. It's going to be out in the middle of nowhere. New builders strategies, one-story homes near Trader Joe's and Rocky Mountain Square. New builders strategies. There's not a lot of new builds in that area between Trader Joe's and Rocky Mountain. There's not a lot of new builds. That's where the new builds were about 10 years ago. Stargazer, connect with me. If you're, how serious? I've seen you on the YouTube channel for like a year, I feel like. So tell me how serious you are moving out here, and if you are, if we need to put together a game plan, let's do it. Give me an email and just say, hey, I think it's ready, or just give me your time frame, and we can start working towards your goal. And if it's just like, if you're like, hey, 2 years out, I can send you home. It's actually super simple to set up to send you homes. Just easily send you homes in a certain price range in a certain area, Rocky Mountain High School area, etc. So I think for sure, as a young couple, we would love to understand and have help as a first-time home buyer. It's a lot of info. Okay. I think you will love, CC, would you go to brianhymus.com/buy? I think you will love that. And then from a lender's perspective, the lender's perspective might be more intense. Sorry, 1 second. My knee just starts hurting. Might be a little bit more intense because they just require documents, right? So your credit score needs to be right. And that's the one thing you need to consider. So if you're going to get your credit score right, if you're going to get your debt to income ratio right, if you're on the verge of some of those things, talking to a lender now as opposed to a year from now is crucial, because you can work on getting your credit score up. You can, instead of getting a new car, or if you need to get a new car, you can decide if you need to buy one in cash or if you need to have one in finance, because you can buy a car without financing. It's not going to hurt your ability to buy a home, except for the money that you have in your reserves you have in the bank. And so that is one thing. But I think the brianhymus.com/buy is going to be your friend. That's really who I've made it for. I would love if you just got on there real quick right now and just kind of saw how that flows, and you can tell me if you like it or not. Yeah, it can be very confusing for people who don't know how to buy a house. Yeah, exactly. You get a realtor, and you make a game plan. So here's what you don't want to do with a realtor. Here's what you don't want to do. Hey, realtor, I'm in town. I see a house I want to go look at, and you go look at it. Worst way to find a home. worst way possible to find a home. What you want to do is make a game plan before you come to town or before you start shopping. And what you have is, so if any of you guys have been on a Zoom call with me, I do this all the time. What you have is in fact, how many homes do we have active in Ada County right now? We have 1,462 homes that you can look at. 1,462 homes in Ada County. If you come to town and say, hey, I want to look at that home right there, you found one out of 1,462. What we need to find out from you before we do that is what you're looking for. Okay, I want anything that's a half acre or more. I want anything that has 4 bedrooms or more. I want anything that has in-law quarters. I want anything that has a horse pasture. And all of a sudden you have 5 to 15 homes that we're looking at, just very small. And and if you point at that one, but well, it doesn't have an in-law quarters, but maybe we could go see. Well, maybe we could find out before we go look at it if it does. And so we end up saving you guys a whole ton of time by having a first consultation. And then we end up looking at homes, and it saves you days, if not weeks, of shopping. Before I had this process nailed down, I had a customer who ended up buying a home in Middleton for. We literally, and I mean quite literally, for anything under 400,000 at the time that had 4 bedrooms, we looked at every home but one in all of Ada and Canyon County. And I am not kidding you. And I was happy to do it at the time. I think I'm crazy for having done it now. But I can legitimately drive to that house that has 4 bedrooms that we did not look at. And coincidentally, it's like a half mile from the house she bought. But my point is, we wasted a ton of time because we did not get dialed in on what she was looking for. There's 1,460 homes that are on the MLS. That does not include for sub owners. That does not include the off-market deals that builders have that I have access to. I've not met a for sub owner yet. I've not met a homeowner of a sub owner who doesn't want to work with a realtor and pay money. They work all the time for us because I bring in clients. So all those homes, we shrink that up, and that's what you're looking to do, is find a home by eliminating what you're not wanting. And then once we have the 5 to 15 homes, that's when things get real. And that's when the magic happens, because we're going to save a ton of time. Yeah, it looks good. And you don't need to read a whole, there's the videos and there's small blurbs of reading. I mean, it's really designed to be quick and easy to digest. And because of that, CC, this is only like 2 months old. I would love your feedback. If you have any questions after watching that, just email me, and I can either add information to those write-ups, or I can film new videos. It's that new. I'd love the feedback. It's just me that wrote that and me that put it together. So I would love the feedback. 1 to 2 years money locked up in the CD. I'm not sure what you're referring there to. If that's what you have in your CD, that's awesome. I'm not sure though what you're referring to. Okay. Any other questions? If not, we are going to close. I love all the activity. I love all the questions, guys. If I don't get questions, this really is a dud. You guys have all been so great. Are there any questions I did not answer? I'll give you about 20 steps. Sometimes there's a little bit of a lag. So if I did not answer something, please write it on there again, and I will be happy to get that for you. And yeah, so if you do have if you're going to subscribe to the channel, do so. Hit that subscribe button. New videos are coming out all the time. I've been a little slacking on that. I've got a little bit of that injury going on. Had a couple other things going on. If there's any other questions, put those in the feed. If not, we're going to sign off. And thank you for joining us. And more than that, thank you for your activity and your questions. It really makes this show way better. Send me a text, a call, or an email on your schedule of when you're coming. Ready to buy one to yours. I would honestly welcome your email, and we'll just set you up on a drip on some homes that are hitting the market, and you can just get a feel. That's what I would do for sure. Not even, I wouldn't even hesitate. Earlier the better for sure. In fact, I'm under contract with somebody who we met last year at a restaurant, just to kind of meet, and then we are now under contract closing in 2-3 weeks. And I would not have done it any other way. Helped them the whole way. So call, text, email 208-213-2092, or my email, brian@brianhymus.com. And for you guys who want to know what type of easy process I have, it's brianhymus.com/buy, and we are going to sign off. Thanks, guys. What happened to my knee? Took a spill playing basketball, and ACL, MCL, patella, and meniscus. It was a doozer. So this is it. I don't know if oh, yeah, that was not locked. That hurt. Okay. Well, you'll see the knee next time. That was not good. We'll see you later.